Okay, this is going to be cool.
You could buy a ticket on United or American, but even $1 million is not going to get you a seat on an F-16. So how did Eric Hansen pull this off? Ever since back on 9/11, there have been only two ways to get on board an F-16 if you weren't a pilot. You could serve 20 years in the Air Force and get your retirement ride, or you could become a governor or a congressman.
But the Iowa Air National Guard worked with the Pentagon to grant Eric Hansen a very rare exception, and he has been smiling ever since he landed.
Give me a few seconds and you will be smiling too. The Iowa Air National Guard figured letting me ride along on one of their training missions would let Iowans see what they do. For me, it just plain rocked. Crank your volume.
If planes could talk, one throttle-thumping beast would scream, "Don't you dare mess with me."
It's the sound of freedom.
Unless you're the bad guy, and then it's the sound of pain.
F-16.
It's the sports car of sports cars.
Viper.
It's the hottest thing in the Air Force right now.
Fighting Falcon.
People say, how fast can it go? I say, how fast do you want to go? Because we go that fast.
Lieutenant Colonel Travis Atchison's logged 2,000 hours behind the steering.
We think we are the cat's meow, and nobody does it better.
But we had to get Pentagon approval before I got one.
You need to know how lucky you are to get this ride. I'm sure if we went out downtown Des Moines, we could get a list a mile long of people who would love to have the ride.
200 times a month.
I'm a security forces controller.
The F-16's launch.
I'm a network administrator for the 132nd Fighter Wing.
Giving everyone on base plenty of practice.
We're responsible for servicing the airplane.
Before my flight, I needed a physical, a flight suit,
I feel with that.
and 2 barf bags.
I even tell people to pre-roll them.
Yep.
Just in case.
And then there were the hours of
you
training.
look down and you can tell it.
How to use the rocket-powered ejection seat.
This is the switch to a rocket motor you're sitting on. Be nice to it.
How to parachute.
Steer up using these into the wind. Okay, so now I've had my flight training, but now it's time for the real preparation. Oatmeal and a banana.
I was told they taste the same both ways. Yeah. While crew members check the 2-seater we'll be flying,
Making sure the backup emergency systems are operating in case he was to ever utilize it.
my pilot, call sign Chicken, prepared me for 9 times normal gravity. 9 G.
Here we go! It's under G, the oxygen from our nuggets will want to pool to our feet, and that's bad, because when that happens, that's when we could potentially black out.
A G-suit, kind of like air-filled chaps, will squeeze my lower body, but I'll have to squeeze and breathe correctly too.
You gotta play a little Top Gun music right there. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? There it is. There's our plane right there.
Feel it. There it is. Holy cow.
Living it.
This is cool. Okay, this is going to be cool.
I'll sit right behind Chicken.
Buckled in.
After one last check,
Let's go.
we roll.
Okay, one will set the takeoff for runway 23.
With a fireball screaming behind me, this is takeoff.
Afterburner selected. You can feel it kicking in.
Yep.
Gears coming up. I'm holding the nose down, holding the nose down. Look outside, look outside. Des Moines departure, Hawk 8-1, we're airborne, passing 2,000 per 10,000. Hawk 8-1, Des Moines departure, radar contact.
From 0 to whatever I went was incredible. And then all of a sudden, straight up, wow.
Pretty much go from 0 to 9,000 feet in about 5 seconds, which is the coolest, my favorite part of the ride.
Look out your right shoulder.
Oh, that is cool.
Is that cool or what?
6 minutes after takeoff, we were over Jefferson. Then, with the flip of his wrist, Chicken put Jefferson over us.
I'm going to do an aileron roll. I always like to go upside down, simply because you can in this airplane.
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool, and it's just there's 2.5 G's. That's 2.5 G's, no big deal.
Rolling one way first, then the other.
And I'm just going to do an easy aileron to the right. And again, you just go upside down because you can. It's so freaking cool.
Oh, that's cool.
If watching this makes you sick, imagine living it.
Very good. The plane is working great. I want you to go ahead and I want you to take the stick and throttle.
Oh, yeah, you heard right. Take the stick and throttle. Chicken gave me the keys to the $35 million jet. My heart is still thumping. Tomorrow night, we're going to show you that, and then what happened when we pulled all the way up to 9 Gs, the most wicked midair U-turn that you can imagine. It was powerful.
Oh, and so cool.
Yes,
Those
it was.
pictures are awesome. What did you guys have to do to get those?
Well, it was a combination of using a lot of these little high-definition cameras that were bolted to a plate right in front of me on the aircraft. The incredible flight crews out at the Air Guard teamed up with our awesome photojournalist Spencer Vaughn to mount 4 different cameras on a plate, shooting in almost every direction around me. It hadn't been done before out at the Iowa Air Guard, but their hard work out there is hopefully giving you a little taste of what I felt.
And it just kind of also begs the question, going back to the bananas and the oatmeal, and, you know, did you keep that down? And
well, let's just say I had to grab the little white bag. You're going to have to see what happened after that coming up tomorrow at 10.
And can we do a word count on that script, because I want to see whether wow or cool, is actually
awesome,
used
anything.
more often. You know, it's Thanks, Eric.
Really cool.
And I want you to go ahead and get on your screen, and I go, and then I go like this.
It's one of the most powerful fighter jets in the world, and about 20 of these F-16 Vipers are based right here in Des Moines. The 132nd Fighter Wing has been deployed to the Middle East about a dozen times since the mid-1990s.
And they're scheduled to return this fall. They practice 200 takeoffs a month, and they convinced the Pentagon to allow Eric Hansen to ride along with one of them. Last night's story was a total cliffhanger because you ended with the pilot saying, "Okay, you take the stick."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to want to see this because I wanted to fly this. But before we start, consider this. Flying F-16s is just a part-time gig for my pilot, Chicken. By day, he works at an insurance company downtown. On the weekends, he dogfights in midair.
F-16's afterburners are so powerful.
Afterburner selected. You can feel it kicking in.
Yep. They can shove you deep into your rocket-powered ejection seat.
Oh, that is cool.
Or they can suck you right in.
I actually drove by and saw one of the fighter wings take off, or the fighter jets, and that was what motivated me.
This sight convinced Katie to join the Air Guard. 1,000 others in Des Moines are on alert, ready to be deployed.
Within 2 days, we can be full up flying combat missions and doing that round the clock 24/7.
Everybody here has a very, very key part in the integration of this machine to make that jet fly.
Look at the cockpit! Who's got their name on the jet?
But very few get their name on the jet and get to sit here.
Okay, you can really get a sensation of the speed right now. Wow, yeah.
Screaming across Iowa at a smooth 750 miles an hour, Travis Atchison, or Chicken, is flying. I'm riding.
This machine does not want to go slow.
15 minutes into our flight, we'd already rolled it over.
And again, just go upside down because you can. It's so freaking cool. Oh, that's cool.
But even cooler, hearing an F-16 pilot say this.
I want you to go ahead and I want you to take the stick and throttle. And I want you to go ahead and fly the thing.
Put a $35 million fighter jet in your hands, and what would you do?
Here we go. Keep pressure going to the left. Keep going, keep going. The plane's just so maneuverable. And that...
Oh, wow. If you could only see the smile under my mask. But to feel the real power, Chicken took back the stick and pulled a hard left.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a left-hand turn, and I want you to go ahead and get on your screen, and I go, and then I go like this, there's 4.5, and there's 5 Gs right there, ready, and stop. Okay, that's 5, we pulled 5.2 Gs right there.
At 5 Gs, think of 900 pounds of pressure shoving you and every drop of your blood deep into your seat. To keep blood in my head, my flight suit helped me clench every muscle in my body. I'd been prepared.
That felt easier than I expected it to be. I expected 5Gs to be incredible. 5G was doable.
But for the absolute ultimate, we had to nearly double that.
I think we're ready to go ahead and go for the 9G maneuver.
Chicken was cooking up the most wicked, diabolical move an F-16 can handle. Going west at 18,000 feet, he'd flip us over and crank back the stick, plummeting a mid-air mile before pulling out the other way. I'd have nearly a ton of pressure on me. I've never been so scared or excited.
Go ahead and get on it. There's 7.5, there's 8.4, and okay. Okay, I'm letting off the G's, and okay.
9 times gravity is so wicked it'll whip vapor trails out of thin air, bend video cameras, and, if you don't breathe right, suck the blood right out of your head.
Oh, I blacked out there for a second.
remember going into the 9G, I remember pulling, and then I don't remember anything. I blacked out.
I could hear you breathe, and then you stopped breathing.
I felt like I was dreaming.
After 8 unconscious seconds, I shook awake, completely confused.
And all of a sudden, my eyes opened, and I was like, holy crap, I'm in an F-16, that's right. I'm up here.
While Chicken took it easy, I recovered, grabbed a sip, a deep breath, and then
I was like, okay, I need a little time here. Grab the bag.
The white plastic bag I'd packed.
It was as close to puking as I could get, but I didn't puke.
I'd been whipped, but I survived 9 Gs.
And then all of a sudden it was time to come home, and I was like, wait, we're already on our way home? This is nuts.
We saw cloud-covered farm fields zip by.
You really get to see how beautiful Iowa is, and how rural it is, and how flat it is.
Left Saylorville in the dust and circled downtown in seconds before touching down.
Wow, that was awesome.
We'd made it.
So like
As a guy who's been flying for 15 years, that was even hard on me, so I can't imagine physically how that was on you.
Ask anyone out here and they'll tell you.
I find it hard to believe that we get paid to do what we do.
But an hour of jaw-dropping views and insane maneuvers prove Iowa's Air Guard is ready.
Everything that we do, it puts us at the top of the list.
Wow. The best I can describe 9Gs, imagine 1,800 pounds, which is a small car, crushing you. A pro like Chicken can breathe and then strain against that. I, however, couldn't, and that's why I went to sleep. It didn't hurt, but when I woke up, I was so completely confused. Usually, you dream about flying and then wake up. I did it the other way around. I woke up and, whoa, I was flying. I did not throw up, but I came close. And I just have to thank everybody at the base who worked so hard to allow us to bring you those pictures, and especially photojournalist Spencer Vaughn, who just rocked putting that story together. 6 hours of video or something like that. It was so cool.
It's so worth it.
I was tense there just watching it again. It was powerful.
You like build special stuff to mount those cameras on and things like that.
Bracketed it all in 4 cameras shooting different ways, all in high definition. He did an awesome job.
This all lasted an hour. And would you do it again?
I would do it again. I don't know if I could handle much more than an hour, because at the end I was just wiped out and kind of ready to be back on the ground. But it was so much fun. But that was my one lifetime chance. You had yours a while ago, and this is my
You'll never get it again, that's for sure.
Never again.
Just to sign up. That was the whole point, right?
It was
Or you
so
elected to Congress.
cool.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's
Man,
possible
awesome.
with Eric. Thanks, Eric. Really neat stuff.
Very, very
How
nice.
many times have we said cool during the past 2 days, right? We're awesome. Yeah.